What's up, everybody? Coach Jesse with another video. We had an up and down roller coaster kind of weekend of fights this weekend. We had the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight, and we had the UFC 309 John Jones versus Miocic fight. For this video, I'm going to talk about what I thought about Mike Tyson's fight and Jake Paul and some of the undercard fights. So we'll start with Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos. That was an amazing fight. That alone, that was such a good fight. They went back and forth. They dropped each other. Barrios was getting on Ramos. Um, and then towards the later rounds, Romo started rallying back and dropping Barrios. Man, it was so good. And Barrios, he looked so much bigger than Ramos in that fight. I've seen Ramos fight before. He's actually from same place that I was born, Casa Grande, Arizona. So yeah, shout out to him. But that was such a good fight. If you guys didn't see that fight, go back and look at that. And the production and everything was really good for the next Netflix event. All in all, really good camera work, ring and everything, lighting and the production was all 100% really great. The co-main event, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano's. Now, the first fight. This is a rematch. So the first fight was a dog fight. These ladies, man, they brought it. You know, they're so savage. They did not back down. None of them took a step backwards, and that fell straight into the rematch part two. It was the same thing, 100%. They were going 100%. Serrano ended up getting on Taylor toward the first rounds. Uh, yeah, Serrano's came out like a freaking devil dog, bro. Like she was getting on Taylor, and then Taylor started rallying back. And they, I don't know, these girls fought better than probably 80-90% of the men I've seen fight in the boxing. You know what I mean? These girls, they do a lot for women's boxing. They deserve a big round of applause and a lot of praise because they're doing a lot for women's boxing. You know what I mean? And shout out to Jake Paul for supporting Amanda Serrano and taking her with him and every show. You know what I mean? Signing her or whatever he did. You know, helped her out a lot. But um, Katie Taylor, she started cheating and the headbutting. Serrano's gave her a nasty ass cut on her eyelid. But that didn't affect Serrano. She still threw down. He threw down crazy. And Taylor, she was fucking dirty. She was fighting dirty with Serrano having that cut. She wasn't headbutting, but when they would get close in, Taylor would use her head and just push and push and push and push and try to open up that cut more. And the referee seen it. You know, the announcers are like, "Oh, she wasn't doing anything," but the referee, good on the referee, ended up taking a point away from her. And the referee's like, "Oh, she wasn't headbutting and blah blah blah," but that bitch was fucking. That was dirty. That was really dirty, especially doing it to the side where the cut was. You know what I mean? But yeah, I thought I thought Serrano won that fight. Um, but it could have went either way. It was a real close fight. But even with the point deduction, you know what I mean. But Taylor's dirty. That was just straight dirty, man. Um, and the main event, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Now Mike Tyson hasn't fought in so long. I think his last fight was Roy Jones. I mean that was an exhibition fight, so they can go 100% to the body, to the head, maybe 60, 70%. Roy Jones said that he's never been hit that hard. And at that time, you know, Mike Tyson and Jones are already older too, as well. But it was an exhibition fight. Now, Tyson came out blazing in the first round. he landed some heavy shots, which made Paul look really lost in there. And then second round, Tyson just kind of pulled back a little, and Paul just ended up teeing off on him. There was a few instances where they threw hard punches, but Tyson did look his age. I mean, he's older already. What do you expect? You know what I mean? But good for both of these men. To me, I believe it was an exhibition. They had a gentleman's agreement that they wouldn't knock each other out. That's what I believe. You know, what I mean, I believe that Jake Paul sold this fight, and he's such a good promoter. Him and Mike Tyson sold this fight. They had everybody thinking that Tyson's gonna come out there and just rip his head off, and you know what I mean. That's why a lot of people were booing, because they had this big expectation. You know what I mean, that the old Tyson's gonna come back, and the old Tyson did show up, but not the old fighting Tyson. You know what I mean? Like he's almost 60 years old. But I believe it was an exhibition, and they had a gentleman's agreement, and it played out like it played out. Good for both of them. I was entertained, you know what I mean. But once it started getting the third, fourth round or whatever, you could tell that it was there was a gentleman's agreement or exhibition, a fight, you know. But good on Jake Paul for not knocking Tyson out or hurting him. Which I don't believe he could, but it was a good win for Paul, and a good win for Tyson. They got paid, and that's all that matters. Tyson making money so he can support himself. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah. Oh, Logan Paul. That was when Tyson was like, maybe I'll fight Logan next, and I don't know what I forgot what Logan. Like he didn't notice Mike Tyson saying something about him, and then they told him what he said, and he's like something like, "I'll fuck you up" or something. But that was chicken shit, man. Logan's a piece of shit for that one. But all in all, the Barrios fight, the Serrano fight, those two fights made the card worth it. You know what I mean? And Netflix, they just couldn't keep up with the people streaming this. It was, man, it was glitching, it was stopping, it was buffering. Like, I was watching some of the fights, it was the first round, and by the time it went back, it was already like the fourth, fifth round. Netflix just couldn't, their servers and stuff just couldn't keep up with the demand that people wanted to watch this fight, which they should have known. I think this got enough, so many views. They got almost the equivalent of the Super Bowl from last year's views. That's huge. You know what I mean? So shout out Jake Paul, Mike Tyson for doing this, and shout out Netflix for hosting this and having it on their platform, and it was for free. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was a good card. You know what I mean? Somewhat. But yeah, I just want to come on here and give my 2 cents. What'd you guys think? Was it set up? Did they have a gentleman's agreement? Was it, exhibition? What's your thoughts? Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on the Mike Tyson fight. Coach Jesse, we're out.